What's going on YouTube? It's Ben, and I'm finally back in Seattle. What's going on, guys? I am back from about a 2-week vacation / business trip that I took down to Florida, then up to DC for Thanksgiving. And well, I'm really glad for the time off. I've actually totally missed daily vlogging in my studio with all of you watching, and I am so thankful to be back and to be delivering more value. So let's jump right into it. Today, I wanted to talk about something really specific that hit the core of me at the mastermind I attended this past weekend. And it's not what I talked about in my last video, which was basically that you're undervaluing yourself by about 50%. It's something completely different. And so stick with me here. This is really, really important, and it impacted me like crazy. Basically, this is something I call your circle of attention. And this is something that was explained to me in a really, really meticulous manner, and it made total sense. And it made sense personally for me and my business. And if it makes sense for me and my business, I can almost guarantee it's gonna make sense for you in your life and or your business and whatever you're doing, whatever your endeavors are. And so basically you take a circle, right? And you put in that circle what you're putting your attention or your focus on, right? For instance, if it's, a certain amount of clients or business development or recruiting candidates or whatever that might be, or building your brand or marketing, right? You occupy all of these different spaces in this small circle, right? So if, for instance, I were to put up running Facebook ads in the circle, and then if I were to put up running YouTube ads in the circle, if I were a business that were doing those things, that means I would have to cut that circle in half. And it means that I'm occupying 50% of the circle with Facebook ads and 50% of the circle with YouTube ads. Now, what does that exactly mean? It means that I'm basically putting 50% of my attention towards the Facebook ad operation and 50% of my attention towards the YouTube ad operation. Wouldn't you rather give 100% of your attention to something rather than just 50% to one thing and 50% to another thing? So I've learned this concept that's extremely important. I think it's so many people overlook this, that you actually have to hone your craft on one item and become excellent at it before you start adding more things into your circle of attention. Otherwise, you're simply just going to burn out with 50 things in your circle of attention that really don't get the attention that they actually need. Now, I know for a lot of you, some of this might resonate, a lot of you, some of this might not. Some of this just might resonate in life in general, but I'm speaking from a business perspective. And from a business perspective, if you're recruiting a lot and you're not focusing on business development, you could totally see why if you cut your circle in half and you're only 50% on business development, you're only 50% on recruiting, there could be a mismatch there, right? If you're recruiting 50% and you need to ramp up your business development way more, then you need to cut out the recruiting and simply focus on your business development, specifically for people that are in recruiting, running recruiting agencies and staffing agencies. That's kind of how I look at that for that. If you're in a different business, such as real estate, maybe your marketing needs to take a little tamper down, and maybe you need to focus on the current clients that you have, and that needs to be the only thing that's in your circle of focus. Maybe that's the most important thing that's going to make you closest to the money. See, the circle of focus doesn't lie because it relies upon numbers. So when you put your attention and your circle together and you identify what you're actually doing day to day and how you're implementing things, it really shows a clearer picture of where your attention is and where you're putting it. And I know it sounds really, really simple, but it's actually really complex. Identify what you're focused on, what you're not focused on, and what you're putting your attention towards. You can easily see where you could cut back, where you could add, where you could put more things in, where you could actually create a better, more efficient system for yourself in your business so that your business can basically amp itself up and skyrocket. Like I said, this concept just doesn't go for business. It goes for life in general too. Like maybe you're not spending enough time with your spouse and you're simply spending too much time on your Xbox, right? And both of those things can't exist equally in your circle of attention because that's just absurd. One is a person that deserves your attention and the other is just a video game, right? So if you cut that out and made 100% of your focus on your spouse or your significant others, whatever it is, that point, you're basically making a lot of headway there and you're really going to be successful doing that. Now, when we translate that back into business, you're going to see a much more vivid vision and you're going to be able to implement on a way higher level than you ever imagined. Ultimately, I was making this mistake a ton in the beginning, focusing way too much on things like website, branding, marketing, all these things that really didn't matter specifically for my recruiting agency. When I realized those things didn't matter, I removed them immediately from my circle of attention and I said my attention needs to go to client acquisition. And really that's when I put all of the gas on client acquisition. And that's how I was able to make 6 figures in 6 months, because I literally put all of the gas on that part and no brakes on it. And so in that aspect, I was able to just totally crush it. And then I could add slowly other things that I could implement into the circle of attention and actually get some more benefit out of all those things. Really, everybody believes that you should be doing all things at all times, and that's totally wrong in business and in life. Number one, it creates tons of anxiety. Number two, it creates tons of uncertainty. And number three, it's just extremely inefficient. So if you simply back off and identify your circle of attention and what really needs to be in there versus what doesn't, you can do the same thing with a to-do list. Take a look at your to-do list twice, right? Look at it once and then look at it again. You'll probably find 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't even know how many items that you could push off for the next month, or that you could move down for the next 2 months, or maybe they don't even need to be there in the first place. And I think that we just get caught up in this scenario, and at least I have for sure, where I'm focused heavily on all these things that don't mean squat. Like they literally mean nothing to generating more business or being more successful or adding to my clientele. None of these things help me. They only bog me down. And so when I recognize that and I do that, I really get much more successful because I can see it vividly. So guys, my homework for you, if I give homework on this channel, and if you even want to do the homework, is create a circle for yourself. Identify the things that you're doing. Put them in quadrants, right? And identify, what am I putting 25% on for this? What am I putting 25% on for this, this, and that? And at the end of the day, if this thing looks like a pizza, you're doing it totally wrong. So you need to have 1 or 2 items that are of critical importance for your actual success in your business. And when you find those things, you make them your focus, you give them all your attention, you let them grow, and you become absolutely excellent at them to the point where they literally don't even require your focus anymore. That's when you move up and you level up and you get to new things that do require your attention and focus, and you focus on those until you've mastered those and become excellent at those. And I think that's one huge takeaway that I had from this past weekend. I'm not taking credit for this exactly, but it was a total mind-blowing experience for me to understand exactly where I'm at, what I need to focus on, and what I don't need to focus on. It's really important to just identify what's gonna make you closest to the money and what's not. That's ultimately what it's all about, guys. So anyways, I'm back in Seattle. I'm gonna be daily vlogging, guys. I really appreciate you checking out this video. If you enjoyed anything or if you found value here, smash that like button, please. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will definitely catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.